Hey everybody, welcome to Zoom and Zoomies. This is episode 2, the show where two women, three cats, and one very needy dog decided that living in a camper full time sounded like a great idea. We're sharing the real behind the scenes of remote work, road trips, and all the chaos that comes with trading square footage for freedom. I'm Britt, and I've been traveling and working remotely long before it was cool in 2020. And my productivity obsession began way back when I saw Cheaper by the Dozen, the original one, with the scene where the kids are like using a stopwatch to time if it's faster to button from the top to the bottom or the bottom to the top. So yeah, and this is V.
I am V. I am an attorney. I was born and raised in Louisiana and a recovering maximalist, now turning into a somewhat minimalist. Also, embarking on this traveling journey for the first time. So, you will be going along with the journey as I figure out how I navigate this.
And every week we'll bring you stories, tips, and probably a few freakouts as we figure out camper life one mistake at a time. In case you missed the last episode, the way this show is going to work is we're going to commit to doing a season, which is we're going to do 10 episodes. That's all we're committing to for now. We're going to see how it actually goes and see if people like it. That was a cat jumping in a box in the middle of recording. Real life stuff here. And maybe we'll learn nobody actually likes this and we're just talking to ourselves, which is fine, but we can do that for a lot less fuss. So if you like this, please leave a comment, leave a review, drop us an email, follow us on Instagram, let us know because that will determine if we keep this party going.
But if you also just want to see the animals and only watching to see them or hear from them, I get it.
That's fair. And we'll make sure they have appearances too. If you are listening, make sure to watch the YouTube versions of this because there may be some guest appearances going on. In each episode, we'll have a couple exciting mini segments, and we're also going to address a specific topic. So today, we're going to talk about our plan for having 4 pets. Yes, you heard that right. 3 cats and 1 dog inside a camper with 2 of us humans. We are outnumbered. We're going to talk about how we've made that work before and how we're going to make that work ongoing. But first, let's kick off our first segment. What TikTok didn't tell us. Let's see. This one. Ooh, I've got this one's this week. Oh, and here, if you're watching on YouTube, we have Miss Lilo joining us from one of the Zoomies crew. She says, "What did TikTok didn't tell her? What did it not tell you, baby girl?" She says TikTok didn't tell her that it wasn't all treats all the time in a camper. Exactly, and she has some thoughts on that. Yes, but what TikTok didn't tell me is that campers can randomly blow up when you light the oven. Did you know about this, hun?
No, and I'm scared now.
Okay. So to be fair, TikTok didn't tell me this, but Reddit did and a few Facebook posts. So don't worry. I basically just keep reading these horror stories about people who don't know that they have a propane leak or a gas leak, and they'll go to like light their oven and boom, the camper just explodes. I'm super terrified of that. And even though we have a CO2 detector, yes, exactly. We're getting another one. Don't worry, no need to panic. Even though we have a CO2 detector, I wanted to be a little bit more prepared. So I've now got a gas leak detector that I'm going to be installing in the camper too. So it'll let us know.
Well, maybe it's a good thing because the way our stove works, whenever it is turned on, the lights on the dials come on.
I mean, it's true, but the problem is it can leak. The gas leak would happen before we turn the dial on. And so like
Okay.
if we turned a dial, that's when it would like the flame would hit. Like
Okay, so from now on, you can light the stove. I won't be touching it.
well, and to be fair, thankfully in our camper we are lighting it via like it lights itself. Like we still have to twist the thing, but we don't have to stick a lighter in there like a lot of people do. So that's kind of nice. But yeah, I've just seen too much blowing up in Final Destination and I can't take anymore. So now that's why we'll have that leak detector. So we'll be good. We'll be golden.
Her and our friend Lane have been binging all the Final Destination movies, and I warned her that it was not a good idea.
She did.
She has a fear of everything, of what possibly could go wrong.
It's actually kind of true. Hey, I found it I appreciated that. I felt like it kind of gave a name to like what's already happening in my brain is like I'm already like, I don't know, seeing a rake under a trampoline and imagining how someone can jump through and fall through and stab their foot and flip the rake to go. I already like that's a normal day in my brain. So I'm just kind of glad other people get to see what that's like now.
I live with her. I want to just throw that out there.
And she loves it. All right, let's move on to segment number 2, our Zoomies Tip Jar. In this segment, we're going to share a fun tip or hack that we've learned about working or living on the road and pets. This one's today is specifically about pets and living on the road.
So yeah,
Yeah.
so of course with 3 cats, you have to one of the main things you have to consider is a litter box, and we were a little worried just having, like, the standard, like, tray one, for them to sit in because, of course, with, a camper is moving a lot, we don't want any of that litter or what could be in that litter sprayed around, so Brittany found a great,
Just real quick, what could be in that litter? I have no idea.
I d I don't know, and I don't wanna know.
No, it's fair. There's lots of metaphorical and figurative
Crap.
in there. Yes. Haven't decided if we swear on this one yet or not. I don't know. We'll come back to that. But anyways, all that to say, yeah. So we have this. I'll include a link to it to show you, but it's basically like a. It looks like a plastic tote with a lid, but and a hole cut out in the top, and then little holes. So the idea is the cats have to go in the box and use the litter, and then jump out on top and like scrape their feet off on it. It doesn't completely prevent litter and smells, but it does make it feel a little more contained than I think it would if we just had like a tray out in the camper.
Yeah, and it also helps, and I don't think this is just a Levi thing, but Levi, for some reason, enjoys going through that litter and thinking that whatever he finds
Yeah,
is a treat. It is not.
yeah.
So one of the main things, yes, we needed it for the camper, but it was also to let the cats do their business, but also keep Levi out of their business.
Yes, exactly. And this is definitely, yeah, definitely essential for that as well. And yeah, I mean, honestly, so far that's my number one question everybody asks me at least is like, what about the litter box? Do you smell the litter? How do you handle it? And like I've seen a lot of people come up with some like really cool solutions where they put it under the stairs or in their basement. Like I just don't want to make enough modifications to the camper right now to do that. And this has been working. So yeah, it does require like we try to clean the litter out 1 to 2 times a day, just
Hmm.
to handle that. But yeah, it's been working pretty well.
I would say so, and you should already be cleaning the litter at least once or twice a day.
You
So,
really should. Yeah. Yeah.
especially if you have more than one cat.
Exactly. So that's a good segue into our main topic, which is what's the plan on having so many critters in one tiny vessel with us? Hun, tell us what's the plan?
We're gonna wing it.
Yeah, that's kind of true. We've definitely experimented with this. I think we've mentioned that we've had the camper for a year and a half, and so we've done some part-time trips. We've even tried living in it for an extended stay. Shortly after we got the camper, we rented out a campground spot near us that's like probably 15 minutes away from where we lived, but we rented it out for an entire month. I took my birthday month of May, and I was like, usually I'd want to go somewhere big on vacation and spend about $1,000 or whatever doing that. Instead, I want to live in the camper 10 minutes from our house. So that way we can see what it's like to live in it and see, do we like it? Do we not? And if I need to bail for any reason because the Wi-Fi doesn't work or something went out, our home is just 10 minutes away. It's like super low stakes. So
I would like to point out that I think we've mentioned this before. We live in Louisiana, and if y'all don't know, it's like the devil's armpit in terms of the heat.
butthole,
So
but our pit works too.
I was trying to be PG about it. But also during the month of May, we had some interesting rainstorms as well. I have a fun story about
Oh my gosh,
whenever,
we're going to talk about the gazelle.
yes, so we had a gazelle out, which for anyone who doesn't know, is basically like a covered tent. Um,
It's really nice for like a screened in porch kind of thing that
yeah,
you just like you pop up really quickly.
and there was a rainstorm that kind of came out of nowhere with some heavy winds, and we still had the gazelle out. So Brittany, while it is storming, runs out to try to catch it or like try to like bring it in or bring it down, and I had a legitimate fear that she was going to hold on to it the right way, wrong way, the wind was going to catch it just right, and I was going to watch my girlfriend fly off. And so I screamed at her, I was like, we can replace the gazelle, I cannot replace you.
She didn't know this. I had decided the moment it picked me up enough that my feet were off the ground, I was going to give up. We hadn't gotten anywhere near that though, but yes, it was like starting to take flight and I was wrangling it. I was pretty proud for myself wrangling it. It was like a couple things. It was like one, yes, I wanted to save this tent. It's like $300 or $400, which is like, yes, worth more than my life. But if I thought I could save it, it would be great. But also I was worried. It's like a massive tent. I was worried about the sort of things it was going to run into and like it was going to cause damage to like the other campers or anything. So anyways, has nothing to do with pets, except it actually kind of does have something to do with pets.
Well, we keep it well, sometimes whenever we're out and about and we want our animals together, we'll
Yeah.
all just hang out under the gazelle.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say actually. Like until you'd mentioned that, I hadn't even thought about including the gazelle in mentioning some of this stuff, but it's perfect for that because it's a big like outdoor screened in sort of patio. And I mean it's, when we want to be outside, it's a nice way to like be in the shade and also have them off leash, especially the cats, because Levi I can tie on a long tether. The cats, it's like I don't like leaving them off leash and it's a little harder to tether them up. So
Mhm.
that works really well for that. But the cats do also have their own sort of catio, and I'll include some links to this as well. But basically, they have these little like tunnels that are screened in, and we're planning to get them a bigger one as well. So they're gonna have plenty of stuff that they can play in outside, but still be contained. But they're also really indoor cats, especially like Lucas. Oh my gosh, like he doesn't want to be outside. Like the girls, they love to try to be outside with us when we're outside. Lucas will stay inside that camper and have the time of his life. Like
Yeah.
he finds a new spot every time we go in.
He's our shy boy.
He's our shy boy. So I think the cats are going to be totally fine.
I think it really works well with Levi. So he is the type of dog that is glued to us. And it's funny, if we're in separate rooms, even though we're in the same house, he gets emotionally distressed because we're not all within the same vicinity of each other. I think the camper alleviates that stress for him
Yeah.
because, I mean, it's a such small space. Even if we're in different rooms, he can literally, it's still all together.
Right. He can see. I often joke that it's like the camper is like his doghouse because one, it's how he gets to travel with us. We just live in it with him. But also it's like his domain because he's so happy that we're all like so close to each other. And so he doesn't, if he's in the bedroom and I'm in the living room, he's not distraught. He can lay on the couch with me and see her in the bedroom or vice versa.
Or he sometimes, because I think he likes a cool floor on his stomach, he lays in the hallway.
Yeah, exactly.
He can still see the both of us.
Yeah. And there's plenty of room, right? So that's the other thing I wanted to, I think, mention too. Everybody's like, oh my gosh, how do you all fit in such a small space? But even when we live in larger spaces, the animals are on top of us all the time. Like at any given moment, you and I are cuddling on a couch with Levi on us. It doesn't matter how many couches are there. It doesn't matter how many chairs are there. It doesn't matter how big the room is. Like that's probably what's happening. Same in bed. We're all sleeping in the same bed. I think we mentioned that in the last episode that like all the animals sleep with us throughout the night. And did I mention we're 5'2"? That probably helps.
I was gonna say, I think it helps that we're kind of short, especially with the bed situation. When we were looking at campers, we specifically want to make sure that, like, everyone has their checklist. We want a kitchen, a bathroom, whatnot, and then we made sure to pay attention to the bedroom area. We both wanted like some sort of a nightstand for each of us. But then because we do this now, our cats like to sleep like near our heads. And again, it's great that we're short because we have one pillow between the wall and the bed where the cats sleep, and then we have us, and then because we're short, we don't have to reach the end of the bed. But we found the camper that we have has like this headboard situation.
Yes.
Where it's flat like a shelf. We lay some soft blankets on there, and the cats love to sleep on that.
It's so cute. Literally, when we saw this model, we liked a lot of things about it, but we'd never seen anything like it in another camper. And it was the cutest thing. And immediately I was like, oh my gosh, the cats will love that. And so I just melt a little inside because if any of you have cats, you know how often you're like, oh my gosh, this would be so great for cats. And then your cats couldn't care less about it. And they just get excited for the box. But like our cats actually use it. We put little blankets up there. I'm trying to think. I kind of want to do some more stuff to it to make it a little bit more homey and accommodating for them. Like maybe like permanently like I don't want to say suction, but like put some beds up there like a little more securely. Or do you think the blankets just good enough?
I think the blankets are just fine. I mean, we've seen them sleep literally everywhere.
Maybe I'm over engineering it, which would be weird because I've never done that before.
I mean, we will bend over backwards for our cat, and we have. But I think it's fine. And most of the time they do, if they don't sleep on there, they sleep in the bed with us. And I think it does help that we've started camping and we're doing the extended trips in campers since they were kittens.
Yeah, that's true. That's another thing that we should point out. Like Levi, we got when he was already a couple years old. But I mean, again, he's a pretty low maintenance dog in the sense of, he's very adaptable and doesn't like require like running around the room a ton. So like that helps with that. But as for the kittens, like even Lucas, honestly, he was really young when we started. And so he's only 2 years old. So I mean, he like they've not really known a life of, ever since they were babies, they've been getting in the truck and going into a camper and going in and out of a camper and a truck. And like, Lucas doesn't like the transition. I will say, I think that's probably the toughest part on the animals is Lucas gets a little nervous going from the truck to the camper and the camper to the truck. Just because he doesn't really like being outside too much and it kind of scares him. But
once he gets settled, he's fine.
He's totally fine. Yeah, whether it's the truck or the camper.
Again, we over accommodate. We have like those hammocks that suction to windows.
Yeah.
they love it. So anytime
So cute.
we don't keep them in their carriers when we do the road trips or whatnot, when we're hauling the camper around, they do get to roam the truck.
Yeah.
So it helps
safely, I will say, because a lot of people don't love that practice. And I know maybe it's technically safer for them inside their carriers, but I know it's not safer for any of us if I just hear meow, 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 meow for like the entire time I'm driving.
It's not that comfortable for them.
No, probably not. But like I will say too, I like make sure to have like foam and stuff to make sure they can't get under my feet or anything like that.
With the acceleration of the brake pedals and whatnot. And every time there's always another human in the truck with you.
Yeah, most of the time, unless I'm like going to storage to pick up the camper or something. But definitely for any sort of like we're actually going somewhere. Like that's partially why like we're having Sister Britt fly down to like drive in the truck with me because V's gonna take her car, but we didn't want it to be either one of us just alone with the animals. And so we literally are recruiting Sister Brittany for wrangling of the animals.
She's gonna have to explain her family tree later because yes, her name.
Yeah, I know. You're like, wait a minute. Yeah, we'll get into the family tree in another episode. That might be season 2, but basically, yes.
So we should mention that we fostered all of our pets actually, and they're all foster fails.
Yeah.
Lucas was a little bit older when we got him, but our 2 girls, their names are Alexi and Lilo. We had them since like fresh out the womb, like they were like 5 days old
before they even opened their eyes.
Couldn't even open their eyes. So we're the first humans they got to see, and then we ended up keeping 2 of these kittens.
Yeah.
And since they were with us and when we formally adopted them when they were still very small, they went camping with us. Yeah. And it was actually very cute because that was when they mostly snuggled with us, and I kind of miss it.
Yeah, they're definitely in their teenage phase for now where like they snuggle on their own terms. But yeah. So yeah, I think one other thing I want to call out that I think is going to be good is Levi thankfully isn't like extremely activity oriented, but he does love a good like activity session. And so one, he's going to be getting in more walks, which I think is actually going to be good for both of us.
Yeah.
And so I think that's going to be helpful, but also too, we haven't really had access to a lot of great dog parks near us, but that's something that a lot of campgrounds that, especially the places we plan to stay at, often will have. Mm-hmm. And so I think he's going to end up loving that way more and getting even more activity than he would normally get in a 3-bedroom house that we just all sit on the couch and do nothing with. So
so I think it's good for camp because it does forces us out because we're such in small living quarters.
Right.
But I mean, and he enjoys anything as long as we're together, and being that we're going to be out and about a lot, he's going to love that too.
Yeah, exactly. So all right. Now let's wrap up this sort of main topic segment and go into our final 2 segments. We've got to talk about the pet drama report. V, what do you have for us today for the pet drama report?
So Lilo has a problem
that love her
a little recent because she didn't do this as a kitten. Mm-hmm. We found this out the past couple of trips that we've taken because she does get to roam, and we have like a cat bed for her.
And a cat litter box, I want to call out. We do travel in the truck with a litter box.
And food and water.
So everyone's got what they need, yeah.
But Levi likes to be on the bed that's kind of up with us by the driver and passenger seat. It's just like a little bed that rests on, what do you call that? The console. The console. She poops. That's the best way I can say it. She poops. Don't know why.
It's super new. Yeah, it's a new sort of development, and usually it's within like the first hour of the trip, which might be when I'm like going to storage. So yeah, she will make these like noises and then just like
pop a squat.
Yeah, just pop a squat and drop a turd right on the bed next to me. And Levi's like, I was sitting there trying to enjoy that. And it's just like, thankfully, maybe this is more details than anyone wants, but they're mostly solid and very easy to quickly clean up, but still, pretty annoying. So,
and they're only for those extended trips. Like she knows we're going to be gone for a while.
Yeah, exactly. It's very weird. I do think we made it back from our last trip though. Was a first time she hadn't done it in like a few trips.
Okay.
So we'll see. I don't know. Should we make a pool and bets? What do we all think? Do we think?
I think the betting should be whether she does it or not, or how quickly or how long into the drive.
Yeah.
She will have an accident. Like, because it's the strangest thing. I remember I was sleeping. I sleep in the car very easily. And the smell woke me up. And like my head shot up. I was like, what is that? Turn my head and I see her. I'm like, oh dear Lord. So, that's another tip. Make sure you have wipes and trash bags prepared.
Always. Oh my gosh. And also that is another reason that I try not to drive without the animals, because the first time Lilo started doing this, I actually was by myself with them. And I can tell you, driving 60, 70 miles an hour, I hadn't even had the camper hooked up yet. We were going to the camper and driving down the highway and trying to deal with that. and nowhere to pull over, that was less than ideal. Drop a comment or write us in with your bets. I don't know, maybe we'll give away some special prize to whoever gets the closest to how soon it happens.
Gladly, if someone bets, I will gladly send you the turd from the drive.
Okay, well, we won't do that. That sounds like a terrible idea, but I don't know, maybe we'll send you an Amazon gift card or something if you get like within the like minute or 2-minute interval or something.
This is the
5-minute
pooper in
interval.
question.
Yeah, if you're watching on YouTube, you can get live footage of the pooper in question in case that helps you with your bet. Send an email to Zoom and Zoomies. That's ZOOMAND ZOOMIES @gmail.com with your Lilo's pooping bet.
We'll announce the winner.
Yeah, we'll announce the winner. And now on to our last segment. This is our random question of the week. So in last week's episode, we asked, what are we most excited about getting into the camper? What are we least excited about?
Would you like to go first?
I can go first because I can tell you, I love being in the camper. I love most things about it. What I'm not looking forward to is hearing a random sound or finding a random screw and being like, is this like a 5-minute quick fix or is this $1,000 problem? And it could be, who knows? Who knows? And every time we park somewhere, there's usually something like that. Like if you've done this any time of life, like there's always the like, oh, it takes a while for the water pressure to, gotta work out kinks with water pressure, or like the hot water heater doesn't turn on, or this or that. And so I'm not looking forward to knowing like, did I do something stupid and forget to turn something on? We also haven't really done it in a few months. Like the camper's been in the shop since our last trip, like in May. And so I'm a little out of practice with it. So probably that, just the general, like getting back in the flow of, I know it'll all come back to me, but like, and also just knowing like, okay, there's that sound. Is that an okay sound? Is that not an okay sound?
Or all the random screws I'm gonna find. It sucks when it's outside and I find screws like, was this always here or is this from our camper?
Yeah, it's a great question. Yeah. What about you?
So I currently work here in Louisiana. I've mentioned that I'm an attorney. Of course, the thing about attorneys, especially in Louisiana, my law license is only good for Louisiana. So that's gonna be kind of a struggle, but the thing I'm not looking forward to the most is leaving my current job. We thought we can work out a situation where I could work remotely. Circumstances have changed, so I can't, so I will have to resign. And so that's going to be a little weird for me. And I'm not looking forward to, having that period of unemployment. I am hoping to find a job where we end up staying permanently or having a remote job. That way we can continue traveling. Of course, it won't be an attorney position specifically because you have to be licensed in that state. So that's the thing that's a little, stressful and kind of weird to figure out is, I'll be waking up day to day during this period, not having a job, not knowing, what the source of income, what my next paycheck is going to be. But that does kind of free me up to make sure that everything we can help out with, or I can help out with the camper. That way Brittany doesn't feel like she's all on her own because she is the main handyman. So I leave it all to her because her judgment's pretty much best, but she is not alone.
Well, my judgment's not always best for sure, but yeah, no. And I mean, I know this has kind of been a tough decision for us and like not exactly in how we wanted that to work out. And, thankfully I have a pretty good job that like makes it work where all the math can work. And it's not like we're going to be like wondering where our meals come from every night, but there's still like a lot of like, like when I know that feeling, it's very weird of like, wait, now what do I do? What am I meant to do? And so that's partially why we want to share this journey too, because I know a lot of people are like in similar stages of, okay, well, my job is here. How could I do something like that? And there's ways, and we're gonna figure it out and make it happen. And yeah, there's lots of other ways to contribute to this sort of lifestyle too. And like, just in case anybody's watching and you're maybe also that partner that your partner works remotely, but you aren't able to contribute in that way. There's plenty of other ways to contribute to the household. Like I'm super excited that after, our first Monday when I'm figuring out Starlink and making everything work and getting all set up and working out the kinks, like I'm not going to have to necessarily worry. Like someone else can help me think through like, oh, what are we going to do for dinner tonight? Or like dealing with those sort of things. So
I do that already.
I mean, you do exactly. But that's my point is that like, yeah, there's going to be a lot of little things with getting settled, but it's going to be nice that not both of us are also distracted full time with
like
right away.
Mental load. I think it helps whenever you have a partner or somebody that you can count on to help think about all the things because you can't think about all the things.
Yeah.
But it does kind of highlight that you do have to plan accordingly before you do something like this. Because,
For sure.
like, the moment we realized that I couldn't work remotely at my job anymore and that I would have to leave it, like, I immediately just made sure I was saving more than I was. That way, I had that cushion a little bit
Right.
while we do this and while I try to find something else.
Right. So planning is key.
Especially since we have 4 freeloaders.
We do, but they're very cute freeloaders,
I'm going to sell pictures of his paws.
as we should. All right, friends, that's it for this week's episode of Zoom and Zoomies. Next week, I don't know what we're talking about next week, actually. I didn't update this part of the script, so
That probably will not be aired.
oh no, I know what we're talking about next week. Next week we're talking about tech. We're talking about the tech and the tools behind working on the road and
Mhm.
figuring out how we're going to stay connected and all that work. So, but yeah, if you've got questions, topic ideas, or just want to say hi, send us an email at zoomandzoomies@gmail.com. We'd love to hear from you. You can also follow our chaos on TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube. Just go to linktr.ee/zoomandzoomies for all the links, or you can check out these show notes. And if you like hanging out with us today, it would mean a lot if you would leave a review or a rating wherever you listen to podcasts. And if you're watching this on YouTube, please like this video, drop a comment, subscribe to this channel. It really helps other people find us and support our grand adventure. Thanks for listening, and we'll catch you next week on Zoom and Zoomies.
Thanks, y'all.